Airbus has reportedly reached a landmark milestone with the A320 program, surpassing its competitor product, the Boeing 737. Le Monde reports that Airbus has surpassed Boeing's 58-year-long achievement, becoming the best-selling commercial aircraft after 3 decades of continuous work and deliveries. The publication says that based on its available data, at the end of August, the plane makers were very close together, with Boeing holding a narrow lead of just under 20 units. However, at the end of September, Airbus was able to enjoy yet another strong month with higher production levels and delivery rates for its narrow-body aircraft, and as a result, overtook the American plane maker with its A320 program. For Airbus to achieve such a feat following hard work and pushing a product to customers that stacks up nicely against the 737, Airbus has really given airlines a reason to purchase this family, and more often than not, those airlines have done so. However, for the plane maker to overtake the 737 as reported, what cannot be underestimated is the stability that the manufacturer has been able to see over recent years. That stability is obviously broadly comparable to what has been going on at its competitor plane maker Boeing, which has had an incredibly turbulent last, I'd say, more than half decade, which has affected its output rate. It's not been totally smooth sailing for Airbus either, but as I said, when you're comparing the two, it definitely has been more so. Over the last 5+ years, Boeing has experienced repeated groundings of its 737 program, resulting in reduced output levels. We've seen times where production has been halted and much more. Data supports the struggles, with yearly delivery rates falling off a cliff, more significantly so, as seen with Boeing from the late 2010s to the early 2020s. Although the pandemic affected this period, it didn't alleviate the pressures. Instead, it made the challenges even more pronounced due to the program's status. Additionally, even when the pandemic eased and restrictions were lifted, Boeing continued to struggle with output rates, and the program has not increased to that of the A320. The 737, meanwhile, still has its production rates capped, whereas Airbus fights its own battles stemming from supply chain constraints, which have hampered its own output levels, but certainly doesn't have an overarching regulator watching over its every move. As a result, the deliveries of the A320 over time increasing have not come as a surprise, but one that Boeing would ideally want to regain as it moves ahead with its next commercial airliner in the single-aisle division. While Boeing's next iteration in the single-aisle segment will not only enhance safety but also offer better long-range performance, this will likely mean that the damage is already unfortunately done for the current models. Airbus has been able to capitalize on the misfortunes of Boeing with the development of new derivatives, such as the XLR in the A321 program. This extended range model has taken the industry by storm, with capabilities not rivaled by Boeing. Additionally, 737 MAX variants staggeringly remain uncertified still a decade on from their launch, which has not only affected delivery rates but has prompted some airlines to seek more Airbus narrow-body planes. They know that they can get these aircraft sooner as the jet is certified. As a result, the backlog that is remaining for deliveries of the A320 family remains significantly healthier than that of the 737, and certainly both are strong, but it is Airbus that leads the way. The success of the A320neo, according to many, would come as no surprise, as it's something Boeing has been arguably trying to combat since the beginning. The breakthrough new model caught the American plane maker off guard and spiraled Airbus's rival into position that it really finds itself in today trying to recover from. Boeing was caught off guard and knew it needed something to combat the sales. A new model of the 737NG would become the 737 MAX. As a relatively quick re-engine, it became a commercial success, but it also saw corners cut in order to get the aircraft to market sooner rather than later, which would lead to crashes and other incidents that would affect the quality, all tarnishing its image. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Your support is greatly appreciated. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.